Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Better Than a Pill. I'm Carrie Van, and I'm so grateful and excited to be here to share with you again today. In today's episode, I'm going to be giving you the scoop on stretching. Now, as we talked about last week, stretching is a powerful pillar to pain free movement. As I said before, and I'll say it again and probably keep saying it, I view stretching as a form of self care. Ideally, you want to gradually begin to implement stretching into your week so that the stretches are becoming a habit and then part of your lifestyle. Now, if you are able, it is best to start your stretching program lying on your back. And this can be done on a supportive mat or even a bed. Lying on your back will allow you to relax a bit more as you begin the process. Now, I would say for most people, this is a safe position. However, that is not always the case. And I just want you to know that there are many ways to modify and bring your stretching to other positions, including sitting in a chair or sitting on a bed or table or even sofa. Now, stretching is where you begin to pay attention, to actually learn to connect with your body and how it's feeling. And this is such a lovely and needed experience to have. It is also important to focus on your breathing while stretching. Slowing down and focusing on your breathing through a slow, steady inhale, followed by a slow, steady exhale, not only provides oxygen to your muscles and body, but also slows down the nervous system. And this directly relates to your muscles and can aid in reducing tension. So there is value in taking the time to slow down and breathe and really pay attention and feel each stretch position. Now, I will say, if you are limited on time, which happens, it happens to all of us and it happens to me, you will still benefit from getting in the movements involved in stretching. It is ideal, though, if at some point in your week you can spend a little bit more time and benefit even more so. So, really, your main focus should become when are you going to make time to schedule the simple task into your week? And then you can begin reaping the benefits. And when you can do this is obviously going to vary person to person. Now, one question I get all of the time is, how long should I hold a stretch? And well, I can give you some general guidelines and I will. However, I want you to realize that there is no black or white when it comes to specific duration. And I've learned this over time and through experience. It is more subjective, and I will expand upon this. Now, in general, it has been my experience that when you're really tight, you may need to hold a stretch for up to 2 minutes. Now, this could be done by breaking it up into smaller segments of 20 to 30 seconds, coming in and out of the stretch as needed. Or you could hold it for longer periods of time, even up to the full 2 minutes, as long as there's no strain or discomfort. Okay. Now, if you are not feeling tight, if you're not feeling tight in a certain stretch, then guess what? You don't have to hold it. But it is still important to check in. And by the way, I love the term check in, and I use it in the names of some of my stretching protocols that I've created and teach. And when we are feeling our bodies, it can vary from day to day. So that's the value of checking in. And just an example, I may have no tension in my shoulders. If checked in with the stretch, I could do that same stretch after 4 hours of working at my desk on the computer. And that is a totally different situation, just even after 4 hours. So as you begin to develop your stretch routine, you will begin to notice patterns in your own body and also, patterns that seem to stay a little more consistent. And for example, you may have more consistent tightness, let's say in your right hip than your left. And this could be due to a number of factors, movement history, and so on. But it's important to note, and those things are always subject to change. Okay. So now let's say you are tight and you need to hold the stretch a little bit longer, how do you know when you feel improvement in holding the stretch? And this is important. There are a couple ways. Now, some people are able to sense the release in their muscle while they're holding it. And I would say that this is less common, and it's less common, especially in the beginning for most people. And it also depends on how in tune you are with your body. So I always recommend actually holding a stretch and then coming out of it and going back into it to see if you feel improvement based upon the first time you did it. And most people can sense whether there has been a change or not. And if you're still feeling tight, then you need to repeat that. Hold it, go back out, and come back in again. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about what parts of our body do we want to be stretching and checking in with. And ideally, this would include the arms, our shoulders, our low back, all the muscles of our legs and hips. And this is a great starting point. And then you can build upon this once you are used to the stretches. Now, there are actually 8 key stretches that I teach to start, and they are essential for pain-free movement. And they're just based on my years of experience. And this is a great place to start with these 8 stretches. And again, I just kind of went through in general what those, would include. And based on individual needs and knowing what positions are okay for your body, you can then add and keep adding onto this until you're armed in this department. Okay. So this is just, hopefully this has been helpful. Yep. This is a little bit of a scoop on stretching. And just to recap, we've kind of broken down stretching into understanding, where to start, lying on your back if possible. But again, knowing that you can modify the stretching if you need to, knowing that it's a time that you begin to focus on your breathing and pay attention to your body, and that it's important to feel what you're doing and connect your mind to your body while you're stretching. Again, we talked about some general guidelines, knowing that there is no black or white, but it's more about, making the most use of the time while you're stretching to see, has there been improvement? And sometimes and most of the time it's coming in and out of the stretch until you actually feel improvement. And we talked about, if you aren't tight in a certain area, guess what? You don't need to hold the stretch, but it's still important to check in, right? So checking in with all the parts of our bodies that I mentioned, is really, really helpful. And again, our bodies are subject to change throughout the day and week and so on. And as you are engaging in stretching, you will notice patterns. And this is so valuable because we can do so much to help our bodies in terms of managing pain by knowing where we're holding tension. And those things are always subject to change. So there we have it. Once again, I hope this information has been helpful for you. Remember, we'll be here on Wednesdays every week, and I look forward for you joining next week too. Take care.